Hello, everyone. Hope you are well. Now, today we are going to study more about the free radicals and antioxidants that some of which the introduction we already discussed in previous session as well. So, welcome back to this module, Nutritional Biochemistry and Exercise for Health. And in this session, what you are going to cover is that what are the free radicals, a little bit introduction, recap that we already did, and then what are the diseases or the aging process these free radicals can cause, and what are antioxidants along with examples of these antioxidants and how they can provide the benefits to us for our health. First, the recap of the definition, what are actually the free radicals are. So what we have discussed that in previous session, that what are the free radicals, the atoms, molecules that have one or more unpaired electrons in their atom are called as free radicals, and they usually are present as a symbolic with a negative ion on it. For example, hydroxyl ion OH and negative ion over that. So these are the free radicals, and how we can define them, that any chemical species with one or more unpaired electrons which causes oxidative damage to the cells are called free radicals. So what means by that, they're causing the oxidative damage to the cells? That means causes the oxidation. As you already know, that I already taught in the previous session, that they are highly reactive molecules or the atoms, these free radicals, because they have unpaired electron. That's why they are highly unstable and wants to react with the other cells or atoms to take the electron to get them stable. And that's why to the other cells who are the healthy of our body, causing the damage by taking their electrons. In this way, they are causing the oxidative damage, and they are highly reactive oxygen species as well. Now the next come are oxidants. So antioxidants are opposite to the free radicals. These are also classed as scavenger molecules because they have lot of electrons in their atoms. Thus, they have the capability to neutralize these free radicals by reacting these oxygen molecules and protecting this way of the body from the oxidative damage. Now next come is the oxidative damage. So how we define that oxidative damage is that the oxidative damage means the damage, the reaction to the normal cells, this caused by the free radicals is called as the oxidative damage. And what where here can play the role, the antioxidants that have the property to neutralize these highly reactive oxygen species to stop this oxidative damage, and especially in our body, how it is formed, these free radicals as by the metabolic reactions, by some enzymatic reactions as well, and through some exercises when our high metabolic rate increase, and as well from other environmental external sources as well. So if these reactive molecules are not neutralized, and thus this reactive oxygen species free radicals causes more damage to our cells at molecular level as well, and in result it causes some diseases or abnormalities in our body. So oxidative damage can result by the interruption at molecular level. How? To the DNA, cell membrane, and enzymes of our body. And the most common examples that can lead to the diseases such as atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis means that the forming a layer of the sterols, cholesterol inside the veins or the arteries of our body, and this is result by which by the lipid peroxidation process that occurs in our body to produce the energy or to form the good lipid peroxidations, lipid cells, high good cholesterols as well. And then next is the cancer disease is the example, and how it can cause by the DNA damage by the free radicals. When the free radicals or reactive oxygen species damaging our DNA, thus causing the genetic disruption. Here are some examples of the reactive oxygen species. But keep in mind, already we studied that reactive oxygen species have the same properties, they are the same as the free radicals. But there is some difference. What is the difference? That free radicals, though, that are producing in our body or coming or in result producing because of our environmental change or any environmental source or the internal source, like the lipid peroxidation during electron transport chain reaction, that means ATP energy production in our body. So these are the free radicals. But there are some atoms, some molecules, some enzymes are as well that are also act as free radicals, reactive oxygen species. But however, they have no unpaired electron in their atom. That's why they are called as non-radicals, but they have the same property as the free radicals because they are highly reactive oxygen species. So these both are called as the reactive oxygen species because they are present or producing inside our body. So these are the differences and the examples of free radicals in our body that causes oxidative damage in our body are hydroxyl radicals, superoxides ions, nitric oxide, and peroxyl ions as well. But how it can be donated more by the negative ion over them. However, non-radicals can have negative ion because they have no any unpaired electron, but however, they are highly oxidative and highly reactive oxygen species. They are highly stable, not stable, unstable, and also in result by their results or the reactions, they have produce more free radicals and reactive oxygen species that causes the oxidative damage to the normal cells of our body, and that's why they are also come in the category of reactive oxygen species. And the examples of them are hydrogen peroxide, oxygen, hypochlorous acid or hypochlorous chloride, and ozone layer, that is O3. That oxygen atom have three ions over it, three atoms attached over it. Here, in this slide, here are some environmental examples that causes the oxidative damage in our body, such as the UV light, smoking, some radiations like X-rays, and by air pollution. So what they are doing, they are also causing the oxidative damage by producing reactive oxygen species in our body or directly causing the damage to our body like our skin, and then the cell membrane of our body, then also affecting the organelles of our body like mitochondria. So this only not affecting the DNA damage, causing the DNA damage, but also affecting the other parts of our body and organelles as well. And result causes the inflammation and cellular death as well. And these are called as the apoptosis. That means programmed cell death. So they can also increase these cell deaths and can lead towards cancer. And in this picture now, the example is showing how the free radicals are causing the damage of the DNA. When we see the DNA in electron microscope, it further have certain many components inside it that calls as the gene, and these genes carry our various characteristics, the programmings of our body, such as our hair color, our age, our health, many characteristics. And what these free radicals do, they causes genetic destruction damage by damaging the DNA. And in this way, the chances of cancer, other aging processes, the genetic mutations can occur that causes various diseases or other certain problems in our body that are not normal, that may be related to any aging process or a disease or a cancerous lesion. An example of, for example, is a lot of exposure to the radiations or the UV lights or from the sun. The person may have higher chances of getting the skin cancer because of this cellular damage of the skin. Skin cells, nucleus, DNA can be affected by this reactive damage, oxygen species, or we can say oxidative damage. Now, next is coming about the mitochondria. Mitochondria, as you already know, it is one of the organelle inside our body, and how we can see it by means of the microscope, especially the electron microscope. By the naked eye, we cannot see. So it is also called as the powerhouse of the cell. Why it is called? Because it has the property to produce energy, ATP, in our body, and it plays a vital part in it. Without it, our body cannot produce ATP. And the other property of this organelle is that it also carries its own DNA. While in our cell nucleus have the DNA, the genetic information that is only responsible and carries all the characteristics or information of our body in that DNA, that in the nucleus. However, there is another organelle in our body called as the mitochondria. It has also its own DNA. So while if we see other organelles that don't have DNA inside them. So in this way, it is also unique. So some maternal is there, the free radical causes damage in its DNA, may causes any disease or causes exposure to, or the chance increase the chances of any infection or a problem in the body of that person. However, it can also be transferred from family to family, but only by means of the mother, through the mother, not from the father. And here is a more example that is given in this picture. That's during the process of the ATP. While in the production of the ATP, mitochondria also contains an enzyme called as the cytochrome oxidase. It also plays in the role to produce reactive oxygen species. How? During the production of ATP, during the process, it requires oxygen to burn it to produce the energy. In this process, however, some amount of oxygen leaks out. And in this way, it acts as a reactive oxygen species that may result to the DNA damage. Its mean causes some mutations in genes. In this picture, it is showing elaborating all that I have explained, that how these what I say, the environmental changes or the hazards affecting and damaging our bodies inside at the cellular level, then at the result conclusion, then any hereditary or any disease can occur, such as by the poor nutrition diet, like junk food, lot of stresses, either mechanical from the environment or the internal stress like depression, then atmospheric pollution and UV light from the sun rays or another form. And here now in this figure, what is showing that this is a normal cell, but however, due to any oxidative damage or getting reaction from any free radical, when what I say unstable atom takes electron from a normal oxygen, so in result, what happened? This normal oxygen atom or normal cell molecule also changed into the what free radical as well. And this process then continuously occur when it becomes now unstable. It takes electron now from a normal cell. Now it becomes a free radical. For its stability, now it is taken from another normal cell. So in this way, a reaction it will be occurred form in a form of a chain, and it is called as the chain reaction. However, this chain reaction have three steps called as initiation, propagation, and termination. Where initiation means that the starting of this oxidative damage or the chain reaction starts is called as the initiation by means of the free radicals, by exposure getting exposed from the free radicals. While propagation means the continuation of this chain reaction, and thousands of simultaneous quick reactions can occur one by one, because free radicals are highly reactive and unstable. That's why it is called as a propagation continuation in a blink of a time. And how in the step 3, this process chain reaction can be terminated, and this step is called as the termination. And how it can be occur? It can be occur by the presence of any antioxidant or any antioxidation process inside our body. So in this way, it can be terminated by neutralizing these free radicals. However, if this process become unstable, then it will cause as oxidative damage or oxidative production process. And this is now another figure showing microscopically that how these antioxidants have ample of electrons and have the capability to give to other molecules to get them stabilized, and these are called as the free radicals. And now next figure, it is showing that how these free radicals, reactive oxygen species, causing the damage to the DNA, just also causing the genetic destruction as well. But there is an example like the vitamin C acts as a scavenger and escaping, protecting our DNA and other normal parts of the cell of our body to prevent the damage from these free radicals, and by getting them these free radicals to be neutralized. And this picture figure is taken from this article that was published in the year 2000. So now you know what is the definition of oxidative stress that I already described in previous figures and discussed in detail. When there is unbalanced presence of the free radicals and the detoxification process by the antioxidants, then this process is called as the oxidative stress that causes oxidative damage continuously without stopping because there is no antioxidant present. Now next is phytochemicals. What is meant by the phytochemicals? Phyto means plants. And these chemicals mainly are the protectants. And why we are saying them the protectants? Because they are protecting from our body as like the antioxidants. They are protecting our body from the free radicals and giving the health, providing a stability of the different functions of the body. And this way they are providing our body from certain cardiac diseases and the cancers. And that's why they are called as the phytoprotectants. And in many researches, there are strong evidences that are providing that they have some protecting effect to our body. And why this? Because they contain a chemical called as the phenols. And when these phenols are in large amount, then they are called as the polyphenolic contents. By these contents and the flavonoids, the plant's resource materials or the molecules or the agents, chemicals, they are acting as the phytochemicals. And the other examples that are also act as antioxidants, which are we taking through our diet. Among them, the most common are vitamin C, vitamin E, beta carotene, and what the vitamin C chemically called as that's ascorbic acid. Then vitamin E, and then beta carotene. Beta carotene we can also say as a part of a vitamin E, but the vitamin A chemical name is retinol. That is the main retinol and retinol. Carotene is that part of it that contains the orange reddish color. It is also a powerful antioxidant. However, there are some minerals as well that we are taking from our diet by some poultry meats and plant species that have some minerals that acts as antioxidants. Among them, most common are zinc, selenium, manganese, and copper. And the common sources of these minerals are like whole grains, dairy products, milk, and yogurt are good sources of selenium. For the zinc, common sources are meat, nuts, peanuts, eggs, and dairy products, and including as well the whole grains. Vitamin E, for vitamin E, fish is very famous. You already know it is a good source of vitamin E. Others are the milk, sunflower oil, and peanuts, almonds. For flavonoids and polyphenols, olives, broccoli, citrus fruits, legumes, apple, red lettuce, they are the common examples. Now I'm just discussing some examples and the function of these phytoprotectants and some antioxidants that we are taking from our diet. Here is example of the tomato that carries a chemical called as lycopene. It also acts as antioxidant. How it helps to defend our body by fighting the cancerous cells, and how the process by protecting the DNA damage from the oxidative stress. Other examples are the broccoli and sprout. They are also cancer protective. Why? Because they have a chemical that contains the sulfur in it. Garlic, it is also a good source, also strong our immunity as well from certain fungal infections. In addition, some parasitic infections as well. And this chemical mainly called as the allicin, which is one of them. And it also helps to lower the blood pressure by lowering the blood cholesterol in our body and also protecting our body from stomach cancer. The next come is the example of the apples, and that contains flavonoids and protect our body from lung cancer. Next coming the berries, among which the blueberries that also contains flavonoids and preventing our brain from the oxidative damage, thus reducing the chances of cognitive damage of the brain that may cause otherwise Alzheimer's diseases with aging. They also contain, all berries mostly contains the vitamin C and E as well. They are also powerful antioxidants, but short-lived. Then the example is come the citrus fruits like lemon. They also provides the immunity to our body to fight from certain infections and germs, and also inhibit cancerous growth in our body cells. And they are rich in vitamin C, that is the ascorbic acid. That's why they are called as citrus fruits. Then isoflavonoids present in soya beans, and then inhibit the cancer cells growth. In this way, they are performing their role to fight the tumor cells growth, and also play a role in lower body cholesterol levels and certain cardiac diseases problems. Then other come is the red wine and red grapes. They also have certain functions, that because they contain the flavonoids, the particular called as a procyanidins, and they reduce the chances of getting the cardiac diseases. Now next is coming degenerative diseases for aging that are common because of the more exposure from the reactive oxygen species. For example, cataract of eye, skin pigmentation of eye with age, more wrinkles, with more aging, teeth, gums problem called as the periodontitis, and some more aggravating symptoms of the asthma because of more exposure of oxidative damage to the lungs. So what the antioxidants can play to prevent some diseases in our body by fighting with the free radicals? Example of the cardiovascular diseases, cancerous growth and cancer inhibition, diabetes, oxidative damage that may cause Alzheimer's disease, to reduce the chances of having Alzheimer's, some immune diseases to bring our immunity more stronger, and eye diseases like cataract. So what we have covered in today's session, that what are the reactive oxygen species are, and what actually they have less and unpaired electron. That's why they are highly unstable and highly reactive to get themselves stable. And at the cellular level, at the molecular level, they are causing the damage to our body organelles and the parts like DNA, cell membrane, proteins, enzymatic changes, enzymatic damage as well. In this way, they are increasing the chances of having certain diseases, disorders, and cancer. And the opposite of them is the antioxidants that are produced in general in outside of our body, but in limited amount. And we also take from our diet or the external sources as well to bring our immunity well to fight these free radicals as well. And there are many age-related diseases that are related to the radical damage that can be prevented or reduced by these scavengers that are antioxidants. And there are many epidemiological literature and data are present that are providing the strong evidence that these antioxidants have beneficial effect to fight these free radicals and to protect our body from certain diseases and oxidative damage. Thank you. Any questions?